Nothing stabilized his mood. And by now we were 5 years in, and Dr. Wong declared that he had treatment-resistant bipolar 1. And when you get a declaration of treatment-resistant mental illness, what are you supposed to do with that? You know, you're supposed to accept it, which is what everyone told me to do. And I was like, nope, not gonna go the acceptance route. Like, let's keep looking. By then, he'd been treated by 41 mental health professionals, prescribed 29 medications, 9 antipsychotics included, plus lithium, and he was still not well. He was in college, but his cognitive function was impaired, his moods were erratic, his relationships were difficult. Every day was a struggle just to manage his own mind through the day. And then in fall of 2020, right in the heart of COVID, we got our big break. And the big break was that somebody knew somebody who knew that we were investing in mental health startups, and they connected us to Stephen Hayes, who runs a mental health startup syndicate. And he told us his story, and his story was that he met a doctor, I think it was Dr. Chris Palmer, who's in the room with us today, who helped him get on a ketogenic diet. He addressed his addiction issues, his obesity issues, and his bipolar issues. This guy told me about this keto diet, and it's gonna make you better from bipolar, expecting him to say, yeah, mom, as he had said with most of my dietary ideas over the last 5 years. And he said, when can I start? I wanna do keto. And then it was like, okay, game on, we're gonna do this thing. Reached out to Dr. Palmer. He didn't have any room in his private practice, but of course he agreed to treat Matt pro bono just to help out. Introduced us to Denise Potter, who's also here in the room with us. We found out about Shabani Sethi's Metabolic Psychiatry clinic at Stanford, started reading everything I could read and talking to everyone, and last January 4th, Matt started on a ketogenic diet. And at first it was a little rocky. He had insomnia the first few days, which Dr. Palmer had prepared us for. Took a little extra Zyprexa, started sleeping through the night. He got COVID, he got sick, his ketones dropped, his low-level symptoms, anxiety, irritability came roaring back. But Dr. Palmer said, and Denise said, you just gotta ride it out. When you get sick, people's ketones drop, we just gotta ride it out. And he wrote it out. So he was completely committed, and I wouldn't be standing here today if that had not been the case. And within about a couple of months, and that March, he stayed on 5 milligrams of Zyprexa. He did not have to go up to 25, and he had 0 symptoms, not even a stitch of hypomania, and certainly no mania, and no depression to follow it. And so we really knew we were onto something by then. By May, I had been keeping a log of his symptoms and his medications for 5 years, and by May, I noticed I wasn't writing in the log because there was nothing to write, because he was just living his life. He was getting up every day, he was going to classes, he was making friends, he was making music. He was living the life we didn't know he was ever going to live, which is just a regular life with a stable mood day after day after day.